Hello students, welcome to the session on RRBJE preparation. Okay, today we are going to discuss subject named Information Systems. Before discussing the content of the subject, let me tell you something. This subject is not so popular compared to other subjects. Why? Because whatever the subject listed in the RRBJE syllabus, there are 14 subjects, all of them are more or less part of GATE syllabus, almost all of them. But this information is not part of GATE syllabus or not part of syllabus of any other competitive examinations. Very few exams are including this subject. So there is very less chances that you will get some relevant content for preparation regarding this subject. Hope my point is clear for you, what I am trying to say. Because this subject is not included in most of the competitive exams, the content related to this subject is not available on the websites or books. Fine. So whoever following the live session or whoever watch this record, I strongly recommend you to suggest this video to other friends who are preparing for this subject, because it really helps them. Because whatever the content I am providing in this video session and whatever the content that is being recorded in RRBJE course of AS Academy, that is really helpful because we have spent so much time to prepare that content. Okay. So, and let me tell you one more point about this subject. Similar to basics of computer knowledge subject, this information system is also helpful for non-computer science students also. Let me tell you how. Whatever the content we are going to discuss regarding this subject, that is more non-technical. That is more non-technical. What do I mean by this? Okay. See, whatever the terminology we are using, that may be related to computer science. But the applications of these information systems are not specific to computer science only. The applications of information systems are not specific to computer science only. So what I am trying to say, if you are a paper setter, if you want to give some questions from computer science, since the applications are generic, not specific to computer science, whatever the questions you can make from these information systems, that can come in computer science paper also, non-computer science paper also. Because the applications and genericness of the information systems is very huge. Fine. So my point, I hope my points are clear for you. The first point is, this is not so popular. You cannot find the content. You can find the content in very less places. The second point is, even though this is specific to computer science, whatever the content we are going to discuss here, that may help non-computer science students also, because the applications of information systems is very generic. Fine. So let us see what are the major topics that are mentioned in the syllabus of RRBJE in this subject. Fine. The first topic is introduction. Second topic is hardware. Third topic is software. Fourth topic is communications. And fifth topic is e-commerce. Okay. Before going to discuss introduction and e-commerce, let me tell you something about this part. This hardware and software part of syllabus. Fine. This hardware and software part of syllabus is being covered in basics of computer knowledge subject already. And one more thing, whatever the computer science subject you study, that knowledge is enough to answer questions from this topic, hardware and software. Okay. Still we have discussed some relevant content in the basics of computer knowledge subject regarding these two topics. And coming to communications, in the syllabus sheet they have mentioned like overview of communication networks. If you see RRBJE syllabus, or if you are a computer science graduate, if you have studied computer networks in your graduation or data communication networks in your graduation, questions from this topic are very easy. You can easily answer them. So what I am trying to say, hardware and software and communications related content is covered in other subjects. I am repeating this point again. Whatever the content and questions that will appear from hardware, software and communications will be covered in other subjects. But what is the definition of information system? How you classify information systems? And what is the definition of e-commerce? What is the content related to e-commerce? This is not covered in any other subject. Fine. So in this live, I try to focus on introduction and e-commerce. If we find enough time, then I start teaching about hardware, software and communications also. I am repeating this point again. Here my strategy is very clear. We have 5 topics. Out of these 3 topics can be covered in some other subjects. What is the unique content that is appear in this subject? One is introduction, another one is e-commerce. So whatever the content that is related to introduction of information systems and e-commerce, these 2 topics will be discussed in this session. as a priority. If I find some time, I'll try to explain hardware, software, and communication related questions also. Fine? Hope you have a clarity what we are going to learn in this session. And our strategy is very, very simple while learning any topic. Let me show you. First, we'll go through the previous year questions. Because of this activity, you will understand. See the previous slide. In the previous slide, they have mentioned like e-commerce. But what are the subtopics I need to cover under this e-commerce? That you don't know. They have mentioned something like introduction. What do they mean by introduction? What are the subtopics I need to learn in introduction? After solving previous year questions, you will understand some major topics. Let us say topic number M1, M2, M3. After going to previous year questions, what you will understand? You will understand something like, okay, these are the 3 major topics that are being asked from this introduction part. Then you will go through the previous year questions of e-commerce. Here also you will list out the topics, okay? Major topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. Fine? In this way, you will try to understand, after analyzing the previous year questions, what you will understand, what are the areas to be covered or what are the areas to be understood. Okay? Understand the areas to be focused in the syllabus. The syllabus is not specific. It is so generic. They are mentioning in single word. What does the single word means or what does the single word expect you to learn? That you will get to know after going through previous year questions. Then, collect the relevant content and practice. I hope my strategy is clear for you. What we'll do, we'll go through the previous year questions of each subtopic. We'll understand the subtopics or major topics need to be focused. Then, we'll list the topics and we collect some relevant content related to the topic and we'll practice those contents. Hope this point is clear for you. Now, let us start this technique with the first topic, that is introduction of information systems. What is our first step? We will go through the, what is our first step? We will go through the previous year questions. Let us look at this question. Which of the following is a storage device that is rigid, permanently installed magnetic disk to store data or information? Fine. So, if you see, observe this, permanent disk is not a popular name at all. It doesn't have any specific meaning. Okay, you can ignore this option. Then, floppy disk. Okay, if you observe here, the word rigid, floppy is a very thin disk. Floppy is a very thin disk. The physical feature of floppy disk is thin in nature. But what they are mentioning? Rigid. So, because of the rigid word, I am excluding floppy diskette option. Now, what is the other option? Hard disk. This is the answer for this question. So, what I'm trying you to understand, in this question, they have mentioned some storage device. So, permanent disk is not any specific name. There is no popular, there is nothing specific to this permanent disk. So, you can ignore that option. What is the other option? Hard disk and floppy disk. Because of this word rigid, you can exclude floppy disk because floppy disk is not rigid. It is very thin. What is the other option? Hard disk. Whatever the features they have mentioned in this hard disk, you can observe all these features in this hard disk. So, hard disk is the answer. And let me tell you something. While answering this question, answering hard disk is not enough. Okay? And let me tell you something. If you observe pattern in the RRBJE previous year questions, in very rare cases, they repeat the question. In very rare cases, they repeat the question. What do? Next time, they will ask question about floppy disk. In the definition place, instead of giving this rigid or something, they will give thin or something. Okay? So, you need to understand, while solving previous year questions of RRB, this technique is specific to RRBJE. Other exams may follow some other pattern, like they repeat the same question or something. But what I observed in this RRBJE previous year questions, they are not repeating the same question, but they are repeating the question from same topic. Hope my point is clear for you. I'm repeating this again. They are not repeating the same question, but they are repeating the questions from same topic. So this year they have asked question related to hard disk. So try to explore definitions of other options also. Then only you will be able to answer of next year questions. Fine. Let us go to next question. Okay. A computer-based information system is needed because, okay, what they are asking, why do we need computer-based information systems? Let us understand each and every option and try to understand whether it can be the reason or not. Okay. The size of organization has become large and data is massive. This is one genuine reason. When the data is massive, if mankind has to operate on that data, it may take more time or we can make human errors. But if you take help from computer-based information systems, then it will help to increase the accuracy and speed. Fine. So option A is very relevant. Then timely decisions are to be taken based on available data. I already told you we can increase the speed of decision. So timely decision can be taken. So B is also one relevant reason to make use of computer-based information systems. Then computers are available. This is a very funny reason. Just because computers are available, you cannot make use of computers when they are not needed. Let us say if you just want to arrange the data of 10 people, you can do it with the humankind only. Why to involve computers there? Hope you understood my point. Just because computers are available, you cannot make use of computers. So this is not so valid reason. Fine. Then difficult to get clerks to process data. This is also not so valid reason. So A and B are very logical and valid reasons. So which option is saying A and B? Option B is saying A and B. Fine. So if you observe here, whatever the question they are asking, even though it involves some computer-like words, it is so non-technical in nature. That's what I'm trying to say. Because of the applications and genericness of the information systems, even non-computer students may get questions from this subject. Because every competitive is expecting some basic computer knowledge from each and every graduate. Fine? Then, which segment? Okay, this is related to, so this is part of introduction. Okay? This is part of introduction of information systems. So here they are focusing on usage of the information system or applications of the information system. Then look at this question. I told you the other major topic from information systems is e-commerce. So this is related to e-commerce. Which segment do Flipkart, Amazon, eBay belong to? Okay. Let me explain these options first. B2G is short form of business to government. B2G is short form of business to government. C2C is short form of consumer to consumer. I am giving you the full forms first, then you can understand on which category these companies will fall. B2B is short form of business to business. Then B2C is short form of business to consumer. Fine. If you see here, all the companies what they have mentioned, Flipkart, Amazon, eBay. In all these companies, the major transaction is done between business to customers. We will have some companies, they give services to some customers. So whatever the companies they have mentioned, all of them are B2C category because they provide, the businesses or companies provide services for consumers or customers. Okay. If you see here, business to government or consumer to consumer, here you will take the example of OLX. Here both seller and buyer, both are consumers only. If you take OLX or any similar website to OLX, in that website, both consumers and buyers and sellers are consumers. But in case of Flipkart, buyers are consumers, but sellers are business. Fine. Hope this point is clear for you. Now, what do I mean by practice here? Whenever you see this kind of question, you need to list out what are the companies that fall under business to government category, what are the companies that fall under consumer to consumer category, what are the all companies that fall under business to business category, what are the all companies that fall under business to consumer category. Hope this point is clear for you. What do you mean by practice here? Just remembering that these companies will fall under B2C category doesn't help you in the coming examinations. Okay, what is the practice? When you see these kind of questions, you need to list out all the companies which fall under each category. Hope this point is clear for you. Let us go to the next question. Then, which of the following is part of e-commerce? In the previous slide, I have already shown you B2B is one category, B2C is another category, C2C is one category. So what are those? Business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer. When you involve government in the picture, then government to consumer, government to government, and government to business. these will also coming to the category. So these are all the things that are part of e-commerce. If you observe here, they have mentioned B2B, this is part of e-commerce, B2C, this is part of e-commerce, B2G, this is also part of e-commerce. So all of these is the answer for this question. Hope this point is clear for you. So what you need to understand here, in the previous question, you understood something like there are 6 categories based on the buyers and sellers. If buyers and sellers both are business, then the e-commerce is B2B. If the buyer is business, but the seller is consumer, if the seller is business, but the buyer is consumer, then it is B2C. When both buyer and seller are consumer, then it is C2C. If you involve government instead of consumer and business, then we have G2C, G2G, G2B. So what I want you to understand, in the e-commerce, the major topic is two things. One is, what are the different categories under e-commerce, that is this. And one more question you need to understand, what companies fall under B2B, what companies fall under B2C, what companies fall under C2C, what companies fall under G2C, and what companies fall under G2G, and what companies fall under G2B. These are the content you need to learn from this subject. Okay, so after solving 3 questions, I understood these things. What is the first thing? We need to understand the applications of information systems. That is the thing we have learned in the first question. After solving other 2 questions, we need to understand there are some subcategories in e-commerce. What are the different companies that falls under each category? If you learn these things, next year you may ask one of the question in the exam. Fine? Then, which of the following statement is not true? Okay, here they are talking about the definition of the information. So, if you see, the information system has two generic words. One is information, another one is system. So, they may focus on definition of information and definition of the system. What are the different entities involved in the system? That is one interest. Another interest is how data is different from information. What is the salient features of the information? When do you call data as the information, or how do you convert data into information? These are the different interests coming under this introduction topic. Fine? So if you see here, let us understand the definition of information and try to answer this question. Information is nothing but processed data. This is true. Just understand this thing. We will collect some raw data. What do? We will collect some raw data. Okay? Then we will process that raw data and we will create some information. This is how we generate the information. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Generally we collect some raw data. Let us say we have collected marks of different students. Then, to analyze the performance of the institute, what will we do? We will take average of all the marks. Whatever the average we are taking, that will be considered as information. I am repeating this example again. Raw data is nothing but unstructured data. Fine? We will process that raw data to generate the information. So, since this statement is true, whatever they have mentioned in the statement A is true. But they are interested in false statement because they are asking for which of the following statement is not true. Fine? Then the second statement is, information can be used to resolve uncertainty. This is also true. If you have more information, you will be more certain. You cannot commit mistakes if you have more information. So, option B is also true. Information cannot be encoded. This is false. Why? Whenever you type something in the keyboard, you are thinking you are typing some English letters. But system cannot understand English or any human readable language. It converts everything in the sense it encodes everything into binary. So without encoding the information, computers cannot process it. So what you need to understand, encoding of information is must. We cannot avoid encoding of information. So this statement is false. Let us look at the next statement also. Information can be encrypted for safe storage and communication. This is true. What do I mean by encryption? We will convert the information into unreadable text so that we can maintain secrecy of the information. Whoever is the intended receiver, he can decrypt it to read the actual message. Except the receiver, no one else can read that information. So this statement is also true. So here if you understand, here they are focusing on definition of the information and they are also interested whether you know the difference between raw data and information or not. Hope this point is clear for you. So in the first question, what we have realized, what is the essence of information systems. In the second and third questions, what we have learned there are some subcategories in e-commerce and we need to list out all the companies which fall under each subcategory. In the fourth question, we understood they are also focusing on definition of information and how data is different from information. These are the points they are interested in. Then the accounting system. Now here they are interested in type of information systems. Here they are interested in type of information systems. Fine. So the accounting system. So accounting system involves some numbers. It can be related to salaries, it can be related to marks or anything. We will maintain accounts, mostly they are related to salaries only because the word accounting is related to money. Will you be okay if someone says you may get 70,000 this month, you may get 60,000 next month? So it cannot be probabilistic. I am repeating this point again. Accounting system cannot be probabilistic. It is saying like with a 90% of probability you will get the salary. Will you accept it? No. So accounting system cannot be probabilistic. Then possibilistic system. Here they don't talk about percentage also. They simply say you may get or you may not get. You may get or you may not get. So you don't accept in case of accounting system. So this is also false. Closed system is not related to information systems at all. So you can ignore it. And coming to deterministic system, what do you mean by deterministic? There is a action and corresponding consequence. Okay? If you work 20 days, you will get the salary of 20 days. If you work 30 days, you will get the salary of 30 days. So this decision can be taken by deterministic system. So accounting system can be deterministic system. Okay? But while answering this question, this is not the only practice that is enough. I'll tell you how to make this practice more rigorous. Simple. Just take the term probabilistic system and try to list out all the systems, all the information systems which fall under probabilistic system category. Same thing with possibilistic system also. Try to take the information systems that fall under the possibilistic system category. Hope this point is clear for you. What I am trying to say, our preparation should be very rigorous. How can we make it rigorous? Technique is very simple. When you see one question related to type of information systems, answering accounting system is a deterministic system is not enough for your preparation. What should be your preparation? What are the other options and what are the different information systems falls under these all other options? That will make your preparations more rigorous. Fine. Let us go to next question. Wholesalers selling to retailers. If you observe here, wholesalers are related to business entities. Retailers also business entities. So here both buyer and seller are business. So it comes under B2B category. Fine. Then next time they may ask an individual buying a mobile from some e-commerce website like Flipkart. So this time they have asked something like both buyers and sellers are business. But next time they may ask some question like this. Individual person buying a mobile from Flipkart. Here the buyer is customer, but the seller is business. So it is B2C category. So what I am trying to say here, while answering this question, you can ignore this question after looking at, okay, wholesalers is business, retailers is business. But that is not enough for the preparation. What you need to understand, okay, if they want to make B2C as the answer, what can be the question they can prepare? Then you can prepare these questions. If you think like this, your preparation is going in a good direction. Fine? Then, which of the following is not a benefit of e-commerce? Okay? So, till now, what you understood, they were interested in different e-commerce concepts like B2C, B2B and C2C. When government involved, there are 3 more e-commerce categories. Now, they were talking about benefit or advantages of e-commerce. So, they want you to learn advantages of e-commerce also. Okay? So, let us explore each and every option. Fast process, this is true, because when e-commerce is not involved, you need to go to the store and you need to buy the item and you need to transport it by yourself. So it was time consuming process. When you involve e-commerce in the buying process, purchase process, then the fastest will be the process will be faster. So it is a benefit, but they are interested in not a benefit. They are not interested in benefits. What is the second option? Always on. This is also true. If you go for a offline shop, there are high chances that in the night times or non-working hours, they can be closed. But coming to e-commerce, the servers will be always on. So you can purchase whenever you want. So this is also true. Then inconvenience. This is a disadvantage. So actually, convenience will be created by e-commerce. But they are saying inconvenience. So convenience is the advantage or benefit of e-commerce, but they are pointing inconvenience here. So this is wrong. This is not benefit of, actually it is not a benefit first of all. Inconvenience is not a benefit first of all. Inconvenience is a not benefit, and e-commerce doesn't create inconvenience. So this is the answer for this question. Reduced cost price, this is also true. So since they are asking about not a benefit, we need to point to inconvenience. Fine. So my point is very simple. These are the not only things, see, since they can give only 4 options, they have mentioned 3 right answers and 1 wrong answers here. So what should be your practice? Just go through any source and try to recollect what are the all advantages of e-commerce and what are the all disadvantages of e-commerce. This should be your strategy. And let me tell you, if you can enroll for RRBJE, ACE Academy course launched by RRBJE, whatever the content relevant to this e-commerce topic, I already told you in the information systems, 2 things are being covered in this information systems alone. One is introduction of information systems and type of information systems, and another one is e-commerce related content. Whatever the content that is relevant to this e-commerce and type of information systems, that we have made some videos with some good content. It will help you in your preparation, because if you want to collect information from different resources, that will take so much time, right? If you can enroll for any structured course, it will fasten your preparation. Fine. Then, which of the following activities offered online by Airline Services? This is what I am telling you. Airline Services is a very generic application. It is not related to computer science itself. So this question can be asked for non-computer science graduates also, because it is not specific to computer science here. Even though information systems is computer science subject, just look at the nature of this question. This Airline Services is a very generic application. Okay? So there are chances that even non-computer science graduates may get questions from this topic. Okay, let us answer this question. Seat selection, booking, automated flight status, and all of the options. Okay? So is the Airline Services is the only thing that involves information system? Recently, you can see Book My Show-like applications. Book My Show-like applications where you can book the movie tickets. Next year, they may ask these kind of questions also. Or you can say Google Pay, like GPay, PhonePe kind of applications where you can transact the money. Or they may ask purchase websites like Amazon, Flipkart, all these things. So what I'm trying you to understand here, this year they have asked questions from Airline Services. But next year, they may ask questions from other information system applications. Okay? Try to explore all the information system applications. And what is the other point? Even though this question is from information system subject, since the nature of question is very generic, even non-computer science students may also get this question. Hope this point is clear for you. We'll go to the next question. Search engines are used to search dash type of information. Okay? If you see any search engine that is launched by Google or Microsoft, any search engine, can we search documents? Yes, we can search documents. Can we search videos? Yes, we can search videos. Can we search images? We can search images also. Fine? So all of the options is the answer. Okay? Fine. Now, if they want to go in depth, they may ask you some question like this. What is the Google application? I'm preparing this question. What is the Google application that help you to search through images? I'm not saying that we are searching images. We are giving input as image. Search through images or search where images are inputs. Here my output is not image. Search using images. Do you know the answer for this question? My question is very simple. There is a Google application that takes image as the input and that will search for that image. Here I am not searching for the image. Here I am extracting some content from the image and based on the content I am going to perform the search. The answer is Google Lens. So Google Lens is an application which takes image as the input and gives some relevant output. Hope this point is clear for you. If you understand what I'm trying to do here, here they have asked some question about search engines. So how I'm doing the preparation here? So you can answer this question by marking all of the options as the answer. But here you need to understand, okay, if I want to search videos, can I give video as the input? If I want to search images, can I give input as the image? If in this direction you try to explore, then you will get to know there is an application called Google Lens which takes image as the input and gives the relevant output. Hope this point is clear for you. We are going to the next question. A dash is a systematic way of organizing and accessing data. Okay, so this is data structure. Okay, information system to store the data, it may involve different data structures. Okay, in the coming slides, I'll try to explain you what is the definition of information system and what are the different entities involved in the different system, the information system, and what are the different types of information system. I'm repeating it again. What will we learn? One is definition of information system. Another one is different entities involved in the information system. And the another one is type of information systems. Okay, these are the three things that we need to cover in introduction part. Okay, hope this point is clear for you. And if you remember, in the e-commerce part, after exploring these questions, we understood these things. There are different types of e-commerce, B2B, B2C, like this. What are the different type of e-commerce and what are the advantages of e-commerce? And we may be interested in disadvantages also, because if they ask questions from advantage this year, next year they may ask questions from disadvantage also. So based on our strategy, what we did, we have gone through previous year questions. Then we understood from the introduction part of the syllabus, they are focusing on three things: different definitions involved in the information systems and different entities involved in the information systems, and they are also interested in what are the different types of information systems. Hope this point is clear for you. After going through previous year questions, we have realized these are the areas to be focused. Fine? Then, which of the following is referred as the processed data? While solving the first question, I have already shown you, we will collect the raw data, right? And we will process the raw data to create some information. This is the definition I have told you. So what is the concept here? Before processing, information is called as raw data. After processing, raw data is called as information. Fine? So what they are asking, which of the following referred to as processed data? So processed data is nothing but information. So information is the answer here. If they want to twist the question, next year, before processing the information, what do you call that information? You can say raw facts or raw data. Fine? Then, okay. So these are all the previous year questions that have been asked from information systems in the RRBJE exam. Okay. Whatever the questions we have learned till now, those are the questions that have been asked in information system, that have been asked from information system in previous year RRBJE examinations. Fine. So after that, as I have already shown you, we understood from the introduction part, they are interested in definitions, different entities involved in the information systems and different type of information systems. Then coming to e-commerce, they are interested in what are the different categories that are involved in e-commerce and what are the advantages of e-commerce and what are the disadvantages of e-commerce. Fine. So as per our strategy, first let us what is our strategy? Go through previous year questions, understand the areas to be focused and collect the relevant content and practice. So we have gone through the previous year questions. In the previous slide, I have already shown you what are the areas to be focused. Now what we will do, I'll show you some relevant data related to these areas to be focused and we will practice those questions. I hope this point is clear for you. And I already told you, out of these 5 topics, these 3 topics can be covered in other subjects also. Hardware and software is covered in other subjects and communications is covered in data communication networks or computer networks or web technologies in the syllabus. So I am not focusing on these 3 topics. Why? Because these 3 topics can be covered by other subjects also. What are the content we learn in other subjects? That will help you to answer basic questions from these topics. This introduction and e-commerce has some unique content that is not being covered in any other subjects. That's why I'm focusing on introduction part and e-commerce part. Fine? Now, before going to the practice, let us learn some relevant content that is related to these information systems. Okay? If you see here, what was my statement? After understanding the areas to be focused, what I did, collect the relevant content and practice. So before practice, what I need to do, let me explain you some relevant content that will give you the idea behind definition of information system and different entities involved in the information system and different types of information systems. Fine? So now we are going to discuss introduction part of the information system. See the definition of information system. A set of interrelated components that collect, manipulate, store and disseminate data and information and provide a feedback mechanism to meet an objective. So how do they make question from this thing? They just add is and give dash. So they have given the definition of information system and they just add is dash. If you know this exact definition, you can easily answer that the answer is information system. Fine? Then, information systems are everywhere. An air traveler checks in for flight using a kiosk which sends the check-in information into a network to verify travelers' reservation and flight information. The terminal processes the information and prints boarding pass, speeding airport check-in times. So what they are trying to say here, because of the information systems, whatever the check-in process is there in airline services, that can be fastened. I'm repeating this point again. In this paragraph, what they are trying to say, because of the information systems, we can fast the process. Not only in airline systems. If you want to book a movie ticket, there also you can involve this information systems. If you want to transact the money, there also you can involve some money transaction app like Google Pay or Phone Pay. So what they are trying to say here, they are trying to give the applications of information system. Here they have mentioned something like airline services. But you can recall all other applications of information systems also. That is why you can make a pure preparation regress. Fine? Then, as I already told you, what was the point I was telling you while solving the questions? We take some raw data and we'll process it. We'll create information. This was the definition I was telling you. Now we'll try to understand. We understand this process. Now I'll try to give you the glance. What do I mean by raw data and what do I mean by information? So I'm giving the definition of raw data and information. You understood something like after processing raw data becomes information. But till now I didn't tell you the definition of raw data and definition of information. Say information. So here we are going to discuss the same thing. Data. Raw facts such as an employee number, total hours worked in a week, inventory part, numbers or sales or orders. Here we are not maintaining any structured thing. Okay? Here we are not maintaining the information structured thing. We are just listing them. But coming to information, a collection of facts organized in such a way, see this word, organized in such a way. Here the information, the raw facts are unorganized. When you organize these unorganized raw facts, then you can call it as information. They have additional value beyond the value of the individual facts. I'll tell you how it works. Let us say there are 20 students and 20 students got 20 different marks. If you want to assess the performance of the faculty who taught them, you cannot take any individual information. You have to take average of marks of all these 20 students, average of marks of all these 20 students. If the average is high, you can consider the faculty is performing well. I hope my point is clear. When you collect marks of the 20 students, it is data or raw facts. But when you calculate the average or aggregate of the information, then it will become information. Fine? So, collecting raw facts doesn't make it information. If you can derive some useful data out of that raw facts, then you can call that data as information. Hope this point is clear for you. I'm going to the next slide. Now, here we are interested in different types of data. So, we understood in the previous slide, we have understood what is the difference between information and data. Here what I am interested in, I am trying to show what are the different types of data. If you see numbers, letters and other characters, they are called alphanumeric data. They are called alphanumeric data. If you see graphic images or pictures, that will be called as image data. If you see sound, noise or tones, it will be called audio data. If you see moving images or pictures, that is video data. Even though they are looking very trivial, let me tell you, when they ask you some question like, let us say, if they say graphic images or pictures, you may mistaken that it is part of video data, but it is part of image data. Even though these are very trivial, you may commit mistakes. That's why I have listed these things here. What are the different types of data? It can be alphanumeric data, image data, or audio data, or video data. So what do you consider as alphanumeric data? Numbers, letters, and other characters. What will you consider as image data? It includes graphic images and pictures. What do you consider as audio data? It includes sounds, noise, and tones. What do you mean by video data? It includes moving images or pictures. Fine. And last year, or in the practice session, we will look at a question where they give some data and they will ask you to classify whether it is video data or audio data or image data or alphanumeric data. Okay? Then, here, as I already told you, I have told you many times that process data is information. Fine. Now, we are going to learn how we make this data as the information. Till now, we understood something like we have some raw data, right? We process it and we create some information. This is the thing we learn. Now we are going to learn who makes this data as information. That is one thing. How we make this data as information. Okay. So this is the basic big picture that we are learning. Later what we have learned, we understood what is the difference between data and information. Then we understood what are the different types of data. Now we are going to learn how we convert data to information, who converts data to information. These are the two things we are going to learn. How we convert and who converts it. Knowledge workers, just understand this point, are people who create, use and disseminate knowledge and are usually professionals in science, engineering and business and other areas. Just understand this point here. Here, knowledge workers are not computer science experts. They can be experts in physics, they can be experts in mathematics, they can be experts in sociology or geography or geometry or anything. They need not be specialists in computer science. They need not know how to handle information system. They just create the knowledge. They don't bother how information system process that knowledge. They need to have the domain knowledge of the subject. If you want to create a database of mathematics, you don't expect that knowledge worker to have knowledge of information systems. You just need to check whether these knowledge worker know maths or not. I am repeating this point again. Knowledge workers may not know how to handle information systems. What is the primary or essential quality they need to have? They need to have the knowledge of their particular domain. Hope this point is clear for you. So the key point you need to remember about knowledge workers are, they are not information system experts. They are experts in their own domain. Fine? Then, a knowledge management system is organized collection of people, procedures, software, database and devices used to create, store and use the organization's knowledge and experience. Just understand this here. Just understand the thing here. I am repeating this point again because this is very important. Here, knowledge workers are not computer science experts or information system specialists. They know the knowledge of their own subject. They help in converting data to information. Fine. So we have answered this question. Who convert data to information? The answer is knowledge workers. The answer is knowledge workers. Now I'll ask you one more question. Do knowledge workers need to have significant knowledge in information system? The answer is no. Knowledge workers need not to have knowledge about information systems. They just need to have knowledge about their own domain. They have to help in converting data to information. Fine? Then, defining and organizing relationship among data creates information. I already told you in the example, when you take the average of all the marks, you can assess the performance of the faculty. Right? In the same way, they are giving the same definition. What they are saying? A set of logically related tasks performed to achieve a defined outcome. Okay? In my example, we took the marks of 20 students and we took the average. Based on the average, we are evaluating the performance of the faculty. Knowledge. The awareness and understanding of a set of information and ways that information can be made useful to support a specific task or reach a decision. So what we are trying to say, collecting so many raw facts doesn't help anything. Collecting so many raw facts doesn't help anything. If you organize the raw facts in a structured manner, then you can create some value out of that information. I hope this point is clear for you. Let us say, if you list out if you want to go for a trip or if you want to go for a movie, if you collect list of all the movie theaters, it doesn't help you. If you collect distance and list of the movie theaters, then you can decide which is the theater that is nearer to your place. Then you can go for that theater. I hope this point is clear for you. Collecting raw facts doesn't help in anything. If you collect the raw facts and organize that information in structured manner, then you can get some value out of it. Fine? That is what they're trying to say here. Let us go to the next slide. The characteristics of valuable information. Okay? If you see, what was our flow? Initially we understood there is something called data. We process this data and we'll create information. Later we understood what is the definition of data and what is the definition of information. We also understood what are the different types of data involved, like alphanumeric data, image data, audio data and video data. Then I understood the definition of information. Now I am going to understand what are the salient features that made information different from data. What are the salient features that made the information different from data? And they may ask question like, which of the following is the salient feature of information, or which of the following is not the salient feature of information, like that. That's why I am trying to mention each and every feature of information. One is accessible, second one is accurate, complete, economical, flexible, relevant, reliable, secure, simple, timely, verifiable, these things. Okay? What do I mean by accessible? If you create a hard disk and you didn't hard disk of information and you kept the hard disk in a locker which no one can open, is there any advantage of it? What I'm trying to say, if you create some information, if you are not giving access to that information to anyone, what is the use of creating that information? So what is the information that we are creating that should be accessible? You can maintain some secrecy, privacy and access control, but it should be accessible to the people who want to make use of it. So the first point is accessible. Fine? Then second point is accurate. So you cannot give wrong information. The accuracy means correctness of the information. The user always expects the information to be accurate. Fine? Then complete. What do you mean by complete here? Let us say if someone asks you what is your name, let us say the name is Ram. If you just say RA, does it make any sense? It is incomplete information. Fine? That is what they are trying to say here. Complete information contains all the important facts. Okay? If you miss some facts in the information, then it doesn't make any sense. Or it may make wrong sense also. Let us say, if you want to say, don't do it, but you have excluded don't there. Because of this incomplete information, your intention is don't do it, but the actual message is do it. Hope this point is clear for you. If you give incomplete information, it may lead to some unnecessary confusions. Fine? Then, economical. So, let us say, see recently IPL has been launched by Jio Cinema, right? Okay? They have launched it for free. Even though you pay for the data pack, that is a different story. What I'm trying to say here, how are they attracting the audience? Their strategy is very simple. They said, watch IPL for free on the Jio Cinema or watch IPL free on the Jio TV. In this way, just by making it economical, they are attracting the audience. Hope this point is clear for you. When the information is economical, it can attract more audience. That is what I'm trying to say here. Then, flexible. Flexible information can be used for variety of purposes. Fine? So, there is something called format of the information. Okay? See, if I give you a document, if you give you a PDF file, and if you want to add additional information, which one will you will prefer? Obviously, you will prefer documents. Even the PDF can be edited, but editing PDF involves additional tools. But editing document can be done with some generic tools also. So what I'm trying to say here, if the information is modifiable or it can be used for multiple purposes, then information has more value. Fine? Relevant. Now, if you are preparing for RRB JE or any computer science subject, or if you are from an engineering stream, then only my video can help you. Fine? If you are preparing for any other exam where you don't need the knowledge of computer science, that is impossible. Let me tell you why. Even if you are preparing for non-technical exams, in every exam, they are expecting some knowledge from computer science, basic knowledge of computer science. So let me give you some other example. being a computer science student, you are not expected to have knowledge of physics, right? So whatever the knowledge that is being collected over the internet related to physics, you may not be interested in, okay? Whoever is from computer science, they may be interested in my video. Whoever is from physics, they may not be interested in my video because I'm not teaching anything related to physics here. So what do I mean by here? Even the information is valuable, it is not valuable to everyone. So relevancy is needed. Whoever feel relevant, they will follow this content. Whoever feel relevant, they don't follow this content. Hope this point is clear for you. Reliable. What is the trustworthiness of the information? What is the trustworthiness of the information? So what do I mean by trustworthiness here? Have you ever used ChatGPT? It is a path-breaking application, but let me tell you something. The ChatGPT have information access till 2021 only. So sometimes it is not giving accurate answers. Why? Because it doesn't know what has happened in 2022 or 2023. It doesn't have access to this information. Because of this lack of information, sometimes it is giving inaccurate outputs. Hope this point is clear for you. Why I have mentioned ChatGPT here? Because here we are talking about reliability. Even though ChatGPT is a very good application, since it has its own drawbacks. What is the drawback? It doesn't have access to the information after 2020 or 2021. So whatever the activity that has happened after 2021, it doesn't know. Because of this reason, sometimes we cannot rely on the ChatGPT application. I hope my example is clear for this feature of the information. Let us go to the next feature. Secure. Okay. It should be accessible. That is true. But if you want to make your system more information more accurate and reliable, you need to maintain the security also. Let us say if you have given right access to everyone, they may overwrite your correct information with wrong information. It may cause issues. So what I'm trying to say here, even though accessibility is needed and reliability is needed and relevancy is needed, we need to make the information in a secured manner. Otherwise, the people with malicious intention may overwrite your content and they may mislead the users. Fine? Simple. Information should be simple, not overly complex. Sophisticated and detailed information might not be needed. In fact, too much information can cause information overload, whereby a decision maker has too much information and is unable to determine what is really important. Here, let me tell you how my strategy is relevant to this simple part. If you see, what was the strategy I am mentioning? Go to the previous year questions. This was my first statement. The second statement I was telling you, areas to be focused. This is the second point I want you to understand. Areas to be focused. What are the questions that they are asking in the exam? Then the third statement, what I am saying, that is practice. Look at the second step. If you don't follow the second step, you will learn so much content which is not relevant to the RRBJE preparation. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here, if you want to make your preparation simple, you need to understand what is the content that is relevant to our preparation. Here our RRBJE ACE Academy course will help you because we have gone through all the previous year questions. We have understood what are the areas to be focused and we made our content that it will help you to prepare for the RRBJE exam. Fine. Since we have done these two tasks, like we have gone through the previous year questions, we have understood areas to be focused. Now, you can follow this content and you can make practice of that content. If you take our course, these two tasks will be done by us only. Because we have gone through the previous year questions, we have made our content based on this strategy. So we are focusing on the content that is relevant to exam and that we have focused our content such that expected questions will be covered in this content. So if this task is done by the faculty of ACE, what is the advantage? You can make practice on that content. Fine? So other features are timely and verifiable. The information should be verifiable. So here, I'll give you the definition of information system. What is the definition of information system? It will have some input. It will process the information, will create some output. Now, after getting the output, we will give some feedback to the input. Okay, I got this output, but I want to enhance the output. So this output section will give the feedback to input section. Okay, now I got some output called let me erase the ink here. X1, I am giving you some feedback. Let us enhance the input and give the next output X2. It works like this, okay? So, my point is very clear. For any exam, your preparation should be like this. Just go through the previous year questions, understand the areas to be focused, and collect the relevant content and practice those questions. So here, what I have done, I have shown you 5 topics in the syllabus. That is in introduction, hardware, software, communications, and e-commerce. And I already told you, hardware, software, and communications can be covered in other subjects also. So what I told you, I asked you to go through the previous year questions and collect what are the questions coming from introduction part and what are the questions coming from e-commerce part. Then what we have understood, in the introduction part, they are interested in definitions and entities involved in the information system. Here I have shown you entities involved in the information system. What are the entities? Input section, processing, output section, and feedback. And what are the different types of information systems? So these are the things you need to learn from introduction part. And what is the other part you need to learn from information system? That is e-commerce. Here, what are the different types of e-commerce? That is B2B, B2C, all these things. And what are the advantages of e-commerce? What are the disadvantages of e-commerce? Okay. So since the session is for limited time, I gave you the glance of the topics need to be covered. Okay. Since I cannot continue the sessions for more time, since we are limited with the 1 hour time, now I have given you the glance of topics to be covered. If you take our course from RRBJE course from AS Academy, you can find all this content at one place. This is a one-stop solution. Okay. Otherwise, you understood the list of topics that need to be learned. You can search from any other source. But if you take our course, it will help you to enhance your preparation or fasten your preparation. Hope this session helps you what to study from this information systems. And my point is very simple. Even the information system is specific to computer science student. Because of the genericness and applications of the information system, it is relevant to all the computer science students and non-computer science students also. Okay. So I hope this gives the list of topics that need to be learned from this subject. I hope this session is helpful for you. Thank you.